so kind. It's not often that I get this sort of recognition. But, there's been a mistake. This is not my test.
Ha! I knew it!
Therefore, I cannot accept this honor.
Can a brother and sister get a divorce?
I think this belongs to Peppermint Patty. She's the real genius.
For some reason, it's become the single most difficult and nearly impossible thing we face in our lives. Something we're all taught as kids to hold dear, keep with us all our life, no matter the situation. I got it drilled into me as a kid. Simple mantra: tell the truth at all times. Because when it comes to the character of every person, who they really are deep inside, the truth will be the only thing that marks our lives. It was tough for Charlie Brown to admit the test paper with the perfect score wasn't his. I mean, look, every kid in the school was celebrating his accomplishment, idolizing him in some fashion because of what he supposedly did. Now, he went along with it for a time, caught up in being the center of attention. But at a critical moment, looking into the eyes of those he cared about and taking a deeper look into his own soul, he knew the right thing to do was admit the mistake, because it might force him to suffer some indignity at the moment, but eventually he would be lauded for doing what we are told is the right thing to do: tell the truth.
Michelle Fields alleges that Lewandowski grabbed her arm. She would later tweet what she said were bruises that resulted as a part of that confrontation. Lewandowski, in that same news cycle, tweeted that he had in fact never met Michelle Fields, but now again he has been charged with misdemeanor battery. The Trump campaign has responded as well, in part saying Mr. Lewandowski is absolutely innocent of this charge. He will enter a plea of not guilty and looks forward to his day in court. He is completely confident that he will be exonerated. We can tell you that Corey Lewandowski turned himself into Jupiter, Florida police just after 8 a.m. this morning.
Truth will set you free. Show your character. Must be spoken even if it's difficult. Corey Lewandowski lied when he said he had never touched Michelle Fields. In the hours, days, and weeks since the original incident, video angles released. Lewandowski likely seen them all or certainly had them brought to his attention. He's had plenty of chances to admit his mistake, maybe even apologize for what was another moment captured on video when the campaign manager for a man who may become president was seen allegedly assaulting someone in the crowd. All it would take to defuse this is say, "I was wrong." Donald Trump has many times repeated the same line in various fashions, that Lewandowski is innocent. He has, of course, gone much further than that, implying that former reporter Michelle Fields has made up her injuries, of which there is not one shred of evidence, that she changed her story multiple times, again, no credible evidence, and that she was grabbing Trump's arm as he wondered what was in her hand at the moment, something he never mentioned until trying to defend himself and his campaign manager. Let's take a breath, okay? Donald Trump was passing through the crowd and his attention was elsewhere. He could not have firsthand seen what happened behind him, and thus he's not really an eyewitness to the Lewandowski part of the tale. In some of what he's proclaiming, he's wrong. No big deal. Hey, come on, it happens to everybody. Pictures show conclusively that Fields made contact but never grabbed him. And as a credentialed member of the press, she's got every right to seek another comment with an individual as they walk through a crowd. Happens hundreds of times every day. I've been involved in more of these instances than I can count. She was doing her job. She was respectful of the individual and the moment. She did nothing to be accosted in this manner. All this will have many of you enraged at me, but why should you be angry and so fear the facts of any and every situation? Why not just apologize instead of ratcheting up what could be a simple issue? Mr. Trump, you are a man many people want to trust and they idolize. They want someone who may just lead this nation one day, and they want you. It's not weak to admit when you're wrong. It's not weak to apologize for what you or those under you have done. Matter of fact, it shows a much stronger character than anyone may have first thought. Prove to your followers you are the bigger man. Stop feeding this ridiculous mistake on the part of your campaign manager and apologize. A true American leader would never fear the consequences. And frankly, when you are faced with those consequences, you think back to exactly what happened to that kid. Maybe you, me, everybody else, we could learn a thing or two from that round-headed kid. That is telling it like it is. Now let me hear from you. Think about what I just said. If you want Donald Trump, great. But don't you want him to be a leader, be accountable, responsible? And what's wrong every now and then with just saying, I'm sorry, I got it wrong? Rock on, true believers. Think about it. Thanks for joining us. See you tomorrow right here on The Hardline.